Welcome to the channel, guys, and today I'm going to discuss why every vehicle should have, or every vehicle that you own should have, a tuner and an intake. And the reason I say that is because when I first bought this truck, it was completely stock, obviously, and I lifted it, put bigger tires, the whole 9 yards and stuff, and obviously my fuel mileage suffered because of that. So the biggest reason I say that is because once I started, I would say probably before I even did any modifications to this truck, I was probably getting, I would say, probably upwards of 17, maybe anywhere from 16 to 18, like around towns and stuff, and then highway I could get closer to 20 or more mile per gallon. Then once I started lifting it and everything, I would say most likely I was getting anywhere from, depending how I would drive and depending where I would go, it would be about 11, high 11s, like I mean pushing 12, not like 11. So let's just say 12 to 13 mile to the gallon after it was lifted. And the Dakota, which you guys didn't see that at all, before I got this, I had a Dodge Dakota that was lifted and everything, and that I was getting about 12 all the time. So it really wasn't like it was any different because I was kind of used to getting that shitty gas mileage before. So I was getting 12, okay, yeah, whatever, it's a lifted truck, what do you expect? So then with that being said, I added an upgrade, the upgraded intake, the S&B. So now, granted, I do have a different muffler on here and whatever, if back pressure and all that shit has anything to do with your fuel economy. So either way, pushing that aside, I was getting 12, 13 around here. So put the cooled air intake in, and I did notice a little bit of an increase, and even power increase, but I did notice a little increase with the onboard thing here, as far as, which this says 14.7, if you can see that, it says 14.7 right now, but I did notice a little increase in that. It kind of was holding 12 and a half, like 12.5 maybe to maybe 13, depending, like I said, depending how I would drive. So had that on for a few months, and I've been wanting to get a tuner for a very long time, and I put the tuner in, and I have it tuned for economy right now, on economy mode, which is for fuel economy, obviously. And once I put that in, combined with the cold air intake, it made a drastic, huge change. And I'm not talking like going from 12 to 13 now. I'm talking going from 12, 12.5 to 15 and over 15 around town. So, and there again, if you drive with a lead foot, you're obviously not going to get that much. It all plays a big factor in how you drive and where you're driving, if you're driving a lot of hills. So every scenario is going to be different. But if I would have left this stock, I'd still be getting 12 without driving with a lead foot. So now that I have a tuner and an intake, it made a huge difference, and I'm getting as much as 15 mile to the gallon. I've seen it go all the way up to 15.5. Now some of that was highway driving too, but as you can see right now, it's at 14.8, and before I end this video, I'm gonna get it up to 15 just so I can show you guys. So I mean, yeah, I have quite a bit of money wrapped up in the intake, and the tuner was even more. The tuner was probably double what the intake cost. So I think I spent like $300 on the intake, and I think I have, like, I would say, if I had to guess, I think it was like $600 for the tuner. So yeah, I had some money invested in it, but if you would sit down and do the math and figure everything out as to how much it would have cost me in fuel per year at 12 mile to the gallon versus 15, it would probably come up as quite a difference, and I'd probably save quite a bit of money. So over the course of maybe not a year, I didn't do the math, but maybe over 2 years or 3 years or less, I don't know, the intake in the tuner eventually would probably pay for itself with the money I'm saving in fuel. So, and as I said in the last video, that there's another vehicle going to be joining the Moto family, I will probably do the same thing for that. I will, although that car, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do with it. So that car is going to be a little, or vehicle I should say, is going to be a little different scenario. So I might not be tuning that strictly for fuel economy. But regardless, if I was just getting another vehicle just for a daily or however I was doing it, I would probably get an intake and tune it, or get a tuner for it, because there's a lot of different tuners out there. There's a lot of different intakes. You can get just little kind of shorties. You can really go cheap with things and they really don't do anything. There's a lot of stuff on eBay. Now, granted, I haven't tried them, but a lot of that stuff seems too good to be true. So you can go with a lot of cheaper things and a lot of things that won't really do anything. So basically, I went with higher end stuff. And I'm not saying you have to go with the most expensive thing out there. That you don't have to do that at all. But if you want any sort of like outcome out of it, then I would definitely recommend you go with something that's not necessarily not necessarily buying the most expensive part out there, but you want to buy something that's at least of good quality, and that's something that's gonna like actually help you, something you're not wasting your money on. So that's why I went with what I did, and I honestly couldn't be happier. I mean, I don't want to say I was like skeptical, but it was probably one of those things where I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure if I was going to get good fuel mileage. I mean, obviously, just by the intake, I seen that helped a little bit, but I wasn't sure on the tuner. I wasn't sure how well that would how that would work. I know Edge is a good product, but I've never really used tuners before, and anybody that I know who's used a tuner, they've used it to tune. They've used it for horsepower gains. They've done stuff like that. And now it does have a towing tune and everything else on it. So, like I said, it's one of those things where it all depends what you want to do as well. So, if you're looking to tune for horsepower and stuff, then that's different. That's a whole nother world. But if you're strictly just looking to get fuel mileage, yeah, I would definitely say go with an intake and go with a tuner. Because from my experience, just since I've got this tuner, which was probably a month, maybe 2 months ago, I've definitely gotten a lot more miles out of my truck than I would have before, because I'm getting that much better of gas mileage, and it's gonna pay off. I wish I would have started like I'm pretty sure if I'd have kept track, you definitely would have seen the numbers, and I didn't. But either way, I mean, just in the course of how often I was filling my gas tank before to now, it's just really drastic. And I was probably filling it, I don't even know, like maybe once every week and a half or week, depending how I would drive or where I would drive or if I was racing. So there's a lot of variables and everything, but now I'm probably filling this truck once every 2 weeks. So once in a 2-week period. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really filling it that often, and it's like I said, when I'm getting about 14.8 right now, it was at 14.9, and like I said, it all depends if there's a lot of hills and a lot of stuff like that. But it's just, this is one of the best things that I feel like I have done for the truck, because yeah, you know, maybe someday I will tune it to a higher tune just to see what the truck's capable of, what it'll do. But as of right now, I've been running economy mode ever since I have put the tuner in, and it has made a huge difference. This before was going down as far as 11.7, 11.8 to upwards of 12, 12.5. And now it doesn't really ever, like I said, it all depends when you drive, but it doesn't ever drop below 14.8 0.5. And most of the time it is averaging 15. Now I know it'll vary a little bit, like if you go to the pump and you do your average, your miles and all that stuff, I know it's gonna vary that way. But the difference just on my onboard computer that shows me my mileage and all that stuff, the numbers are completely different from what they were before, ever since I've done the tuner. Now, yeah, the intake has helped too, and I mean, there's just so much you can do with the tuner, and as far as fuel mileage goes, it's totally worth it. Like, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, now I can't say that if you would have a Honda Civic or cars like that it would help or not. I'm not sure, because Edge doesn't make, like, they make a lot of products, but I can't say that they make products for every single application that you're willing to do. I'm sure there's tuners for every application, but as far as how well it'll help you with your fuel economy, that's all gonna vary. So I've pretty much been rambling on and on for a little while now, so I'm gonna have to end the video there so I don't continue to either repeat myself or bore you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and as you can see right now, we are at 15 miles to the gallon average. So definitely I would recommend, depending on your scenario and what you're looking to do, but a tuner and an intake will make a huge difference. It made a huge difference in my application, and it definitely will in yours too. Like I said, depending how you drive, where you drive, and what situation you have or what vehicle and stuff like that. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, check out some of the other videos, and stay tuned for the next vehicle, or the other vehicle I should say, that is joining the Moto family. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great day.